Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cullen, and I'm the Assistant Librarian at Maynooth University Library. I'm going to talk this afternoon about data gathering and LibInsight usage by the Maynooth University Library, initial findings and analysis. I should say to start, I'm not an expert in LibInsight, so this is just trying to get myself and other people going on how we use it. So a little bit of background. So new strategic plan preparations in the library from October 2023. And one of the things we're looking at is the library's ongoing engagement with data as an enabler to decision making. Also, the fact that we have new and existing services and platforms with data and analytics tools, for example, the library services platform and Easy Proxy. So I made a proposal in October 23 to look at the opportunity to use LibInsight as a data dashboard and whether it might fulfill that potential. So one of the questions I wanted to ask is how are library departments managing and analysing data? That kind of dovetailed with a review of SpringShare LibApp suite of products in January 2024. And this is things like LibAnswers, which is our query management system, LibGuides, which provides subject guides for users, and as I've mentioned previously, LibInsight for data analytics. So I designed a survey in Microsoft Forms, and I shared the survey to the library heads of department. So question 2 of the survey was, from what sources do you gather data? And I populated the question with 24 library services and platforms as options in the survey, which, as you can gather, is quite a lot. 21 were selected by one or more respondents with additional sources cited in the other option. And you can see they were a blogging platform, YouTube uploads, social media, and verbal requests. And even though I had put the list together, it's still a lot of sources of data. So it gives an idea of the kind of level of data that we're dealing with from numerous sources. So the scale of it even surprised me, to be honest with you. So the next question I asked was, do library staff use LibInsight to manage, access, analyse or display data that they record from any of the sources? So I didn't specify which one of these, just any one of them. And as you can see, the vast majority did use one of these functionalities in LibInsights. The one other answer said that their stats are accessed directly and collated and stored internally. So even though they're collecting data, they're not using LibInsight to do anything with it. So LibInsight has different functionalities, including creating reports, data visualization and analysis. And the following questions are trying to discern what functions are used and who uses the output. So as you can see there, the question is, do you use LibInsight to create reports for any of the following? So just for yourself as an individual, for your department or section, for senior management or other. So it's a combination of things, but most people would seem to be creating reports for their department or section. And with regard to senior management and SMT, one of the comments are we don't directly share the outputs to SMT, but it informs reporting and discussions. Another answer is do not use. Also used for stats, and if anyone doesn't know what stats is, it's a collection of statistics that we provide once a year to give a detailed picture of the workings of functions and allows us to benchmark against other universities. Just a small number in Ireland, but it does give us something to benchmark against. And finally, the other comment was I use it to record statistical projects catalogued from archives, which I thought was interesting. So nobody selected CAM, which is the archive management software, in the list of sources of data. So I don't know whether it doesn't have a data or analytics function, and so they record those things manually. So the next question then was to try and see how people are adding, if they are data into LibInsight, what methods do they use? So there's quite a selection of methods. I think the first one was a couple are not quite clear, but it's data recorded manually in a spreadsheet or other document and entered manually into LibInsight, and data extracted from another system to a spreadsheet and imported to LibInsight. Data imported via an API, data gathered from other LibApps tools, for example, LibAnswers, or data added using a widget. So you can see the majority of people who are inputting data are using data recorded manually in a spreadsheet. And then the people who answered for, one said for other, sorry, the 4 people who answered for other, they don't add data, they just input directly to the relevant dashboard. So there's 2 of those. And then they gathered data from email requests received from other libraries. And I think that's related to file. So I think it's worth noting that our interaction with LibInsight is still quite a manual process, that there's an intermediary as in the spreadsheet and then into LibInsight. So then I wanted to see if we could see are people using any other tools in LibInsight other than recording their data. And I gave a few options, so data sets, data visualization, analysis tools. None, not applicable. If I put 2 of those, probably one would have been necessary and that other. So just to pick up on the other one, it would look like this respondent was actually exporting from LibInsight into Excel and not the other way around. So some people are using data sets, some are using data visualization, and a few people are using the analysis tools. Now, I don't know enough about LibInsight at the moment to know what the analysis tools are, but I know there is a possibility of, say, cross data set analysis and looking at statistical and trends. So you might look at borrowing records and look at the number of people who can use the library and see if there's any correlation between those 2 things. And then there's 2 types of data sets in LibInsight. So I wanted to see if people were using both or just using one form. So the majority were using the custom data sets, and they include data sets for e-resources, circulation stats, acquisition analytics, budget analysis, and gate counts. So they're already there. There's a template for you to use. No one is using the speciality, so they are ones that we can create ourselves to create our own kinds of reports and data sets. One respondent said they were using both. So obviously, sorry, one person is using speciality, and then 10 people said they weren't applicable, which is interesting. And then, sorry, one person used for counts and aggregates. So finally, I asked for some final comments, which I thought were interesting. So people said they would love to get training in LibApps, particularly LibInsights, to realise its full potential, to see what could be useful for our needs. And they know they've never had any training thus far. So I don't know that that's universal, but I certainly think it's probably the case. And it's one of the reasons why there's been a review of the LibApp suite to look at how we're using it. Also, people noted that while LibInsights is good, say doing the count, so how many people came in, that for some of us, we need more than that. We need something that's going to discern how long we spend, dealing with an issue, if there's a consultation and stuff like that. So I know one department is using rep analytics in LibInsight, and I certainly think that's something that more departments might use because it might more realistically give information on what they're actually doing. And then one person said they weren't using LibInsights at all. So that's almost it. Just my conclusions are that, and the next steps are that I would complete a report based on in-depth analysis of the responses, noting the manual nature of the data input, from a spreadsheet or another document into LibInsight, and can we look at maybe a way of improving on that. Definitely think knowledge sharing sessions for library staff would be really useful. For example, using rep analytics, but looking more in general at how we interact with LibApps. And also, I suppose, assess the vendor's claim that it says about LibInsight that all your data together, organise and consolidate all library data and statistics in one place for cross-data setting analysis. So given our varying degrees of expertise and usage of the tools, does LibInsight have the potential to be a one-stop shop for analysing and presenting data? So thank you very much for a lot of it. And just if you're interested, some links to what's been shared, the Lib apps there to LibInsight, a little bit of information about SCAN statistics. And if you're interested in more data about the library, you can check out the My Kind of Data Statistics from Maynooth Library at the link there. So that's me. Thanks very much.